Hello, I'm Chuck Hawley, and this is our Storm Sales unit of the U.S. Sailing Online Safety at Sea course. One of the keys to safe boat handling, whatever the weather you encounter, is to be able to sail in storm conditions. The ability to steer a course that you determine rather than simply being blown downwind makes it possible to get through areas of low pressure. I am so fortunate to have been invited to Carol Haasse's sail loft in Port Townsend, Washington. Haasse & Company, Port Townsend Sailmakers, is revered in this area as making really high-quality cruising sails, and Carol is also a very experienced cruiser, having sailed on boats like her little folk boat to Alaska Eagle and even tall ships. In our discussion, we'll be talking about both cruising and racing sailboats, and many of the techniques that we're talking about apply to both, while some are more specific for one category versus the other. We'll also be talking quite a bit about boats that are sloop rigged, although the techniques and the sails will apply to split rigs and other rig variations. So without further ado, let me turn it over to Carol. Carol, what are we going to be talking about in this unit?
Well, in this unit, we're going to be talking about having the sails aboard to take you safely from calms to gales, with the focus, of course, on gales. We'll also be talking about when it's time to depower the rig, to consider reefing, and finally, when to deploy those storm sails. We'll also talk about the procedures for deploying those storm sails and how, finally, we'll adjust the rig to make sure that the rig can take the loads in those heavy weather situations.
Well, that's terrific. Without further ado, let's get started.